Welcome to the J&M Sports Podcast. Thank you for the first episode. I'm here with my special guest,
Justin Smith, everybody. Glad to be here tonight.
This is going to be our first episode. Super excited for our first time airing, talking about different sports, talking about LeBron James, talking about the Lakers. Really excited to kind of talk about these topics today. And so our first topic that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. And right now, what do you think about them, Justin, right now?
Right now, I'm feeling pretty confident about them right now.
You feeling confident?
Yeah. With LeBron James on the side, this is going to be a good season.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, right now they're doing really good. After the start of the season, they were really bad.
Yeah.
They weren't even in the playoffs. Right now, they're number 7th in the Western Conference. So
that's impressive.
They've improved their record. They were starting off really low. Now they're at least 7th compared to trying to catch up on the rest of the Western Conference right now. So what do you think? What do you think of who do you think is their second best player outside of LeBron James? Who would you go with right now?
If I had to pick best player, probably Kyle Kuzma.
Kuzma? Yeah, Kuzma.
Yeah.
He's pretty. I think he's pretty good. I definitely think he's like the second best player because I think it's really good. Because right now, it's the trading off season right now, and I think LeBron needs to keep him right now. And I thought you found like an interesting stat to talk about. Like, what do you think was? You said you found like a cool stat to talk about. Like, since LeBron James has joined the team, like, what has he done to help the Lakers from a team that has been in the playoffs in 5 years as a crazy good franchise?
Yep.
How has he helped the team so far?
Right now, it's really amazing because, as you said, this is the first time they're in the top 8 since 2013.
Wow.
That blows my mind. Just seeing LeBron James goes from team to team, just switching teams. You see him every single season. Just like, oh, I'm on this team. Okay, top 8.
Right.
Oh, on this team, top 8.
Just adding that, like, kind of a player, the number one player in the league right now. I mean, you can't, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, that's just, the Lakers got the prized possession of the free agency this year, getting LeBron James. I mean, like, that was the goal.
Yeah.
And now from being, like, the worst team in the league to, you got to watch out for these guys.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. They were top 3.
Right.
Yeah.
I think right now you got to look at the LA Clippers. Their other franchise that are in LA. They're number 1 right now. You got to watch out for them.
Yeah, but even though they're number 1 right now, like, if you go back just the last few years, they've been consistently 3 and 4. So if they really want to take the number 1 spot, they're gonna have to stay consistent now.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you want to catch up to those top teams, you got to get there. Yeah. And I think you got a point too, because LeBron James, even though the Clippers are number 1, the Lakers got the number 1 player right now in the league, where he's the top guy. Like, and the Clippers, you can't even name an all-star. I mean, like, they didn't have one last year. Neither did the Lakers, but now they have LeBron James, the most mesmerizing player in the league right now.
Do you think that will actually affect their mental state at all, knowing that they don't have any all-stars, but they're going up against the top player?
Like the Clippers or the Lakers?
The Clippers. Do you think that's gonna?
That will, like, have an effect because, like, Golden State right now is number 4, or not, sorry, number 2, but they have 4 all-stars. Actually 5 with getting DeMarcus Cousins. But I think that will have an effect. I think, like, right now that, like, the Clippers were a really good team too at the beginning of the season last year, but I think you have to look at they did not make the playoffs though, even though in the end they same resume, same everything last year. So I think they did a really good job of now kind of adding up to that. But
okay,
we're gonna move on from this topic. We're gonna come back here in a couple of seconds. And my buddy Justin here, he's still learning about sports right now, but we're gonna quiz Justin up actually on some fun little activities coming up here on the J&M Sports Podcast, episode 1. Super excited. We'll be back in just a minute.
I can't wait.
Welcome back to the Jordan Miller Sports Podcast. I'm still here with my special guest, Justin Smith.
Hello, everyone.
And we're gonna be playing a little game, Name That Player. So this game is just basically, Justin's still kind of learning about sports, and I think this would be a great way to kind of introduce people to sports. In the NBA, there's a lot of, like, international players that people don't really, either they do know about, I'm going to name some of the most well-known kind of international players in the league, and Justin's going to try to say them correctly without missing out. Are you ready, Justin?
Not at all.
Okay. So I'm gonna give the spelling correction, and then I'm gonna show Justin the player name, and I'm gonna spell it for the listeners at home too, so they can play along too if they don't know these players. So the first player we're gonna have is he plays for the Milwaukee Bucks, and spell his name. It's Giannis, and then I'm gonna give you the last name. The last name that wasn't even the hard part. The last name is AntetokouNMPO. And I'm gonna show it right now. Justin doesn't have right now in his hands right now the player's actual name yet. Justin, I'm gonna show you the player's name, and I want you to take a guess and give listeners a minute to kind of look it up here.
Okay.
Just kind of take a. How are you feeling about this right now? Like a 0 out of 10. How do you think you pronounce his name? Don't say it yet.
Okay. A rating on if I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a -5. I think that's
-5.
good. I feel like it's a good number.
Well,
good number.
I'm gonna let you know right now that this player is having a great season. The Bucks right now are number 2 in the East because he might be the MVP this year. After he's had some great years, but this year he is putting his team on the back. And right now, Justin, we are gonna ask you, how do you say this gentleman's name?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Giannis, and I can say that's really bad, but Antetokounmpo.
Actually, I'm not even gonna lie. That was actually kind of close. I'm not even gonna. It was kind of. His name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And he is known as the Greek Freak because he actually comes from Greek.
Okay.
To kind of give you some background information on him, he wasn't actually looked at as like a really good player. The only reason why is because he is incredibly tall. He is 6'11".
Ooh.
And this boy can dunk. If you haven't seen him yet, watch out. He also has brothers, so he's got even crazier brothers' names. I actually want to see if you can try to. Let's look at.
So is the G silent in there, or
yeah, it's silent.
Really?
So yeah, it's.
I'll never get that.
But okay, so let's see. The next one here is he. So for everybody, look at home. Look it up. He plays for the New York Knicks, number 6, and for his name, I'm gonna spell it out. Kristaps. Okay, and then his last name. Porzingis. This player is from Latvia.
Okay.
To give you a little more, he is 7'3", and he can ball. And I am now about to show Justin, and for everyone at home, you can try to look as well.
Okay. I think I got this. Not at all, but Kristaps Porzingis.
Close. Kristaps Porzingis. So you were close. You were definitely close to it. All right. So the next player we're gonna have here is he plays for the Miami Heat.
Okay.
He plays as point guard, and he's number 7. The name for this one, for everybody at home, is Goran. Not too bad. Last name, Dragic.
Okay.
And for Justin is now going to look.
Okay. I just want to ask one question. Is the G silent this time?
We cannot tell that right now for everybody at home because everyone's playing.
Okay. I'll go with.
Hold on. We'll just give it just a little bit more seconds here.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and take your guess, sir.
Oran.
We need the last name, sir.
Okay.
We need the last name.
Dragic.
Close. Goran Dragic. Yes. So that's fun. It's a fun name. Could you imagine if you walked into a store and then, or like you're writing a check and then like you had like these like last names, like the Giannis Antetokounmpo one. Like, can you imagine like you just fill out the whole check line?
I don't know if they believe me. That's my problem.
Yes, my name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Can you imagine if like your mom had to find you, or like when they like go up to the PSA and they try to announce like looking for a Giannis Antetokounmpo? Could you imagine they would struggle?
Can you please spell it for me?
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
All right, and finally we're gonna have one more player. This is a well-known player right now in the league. He's having almost an MVP season as well. He plays for the Philadelphia Sixers. he is 7 feet tall. I know I didn't give any Goran Dragic really fun facts, but just kind of the player name. But Joel Embiid, 7 feet tall, so that's a tall boy right there.
You said his name was John?
Did I just mess up?
Yes, he did.
Whoops.
It's fine. So
right.
John, got it.
Yep, John. Anyways, this player, this is gonna be an easy one. So we start from hardest to the easiest. So,
okay.
So,
well, I already got the first name down. So.
Yeah. So we're gonna just be a lot easier. Okay. So the first name is Joel.
John.
Nope. That's nope. And then his last name is Embiid. And this is him.
You said his name was John.
No, that was the other one. That was
okay.
The other guy. My bad.
It's gonna be Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid. You're close.
That's okay.
You were close.
It's Joel, but okay.
All right, let's get back some more LeBron James topics.
Okay.
So for you, Justin, you kind of just really started getting into sports recently. You haven't really known too much, but we kind of talked about the sports podcast. You're a little bit more interested, kind of just about LeBron James and like his kind of stuff. So what like makes you interested about LeBron James? What was like the really kind of fun things that you saw, read, or watched from him?
Mostly is because I am new to sports, but I've noticed like I always thought, hey, it's a team effort. But when I start seeing a player like LeBron and seeing just the dramatic effect that he has on a team, that blows my mind. I was watching some clips on YouTube looking at his best moments, and it really blows me away on how skilled he is and how much of a difference he actually makes in a team.
Like, what kind of a difference did you like really see from so obviously he left the Cavs to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. What is like the differences, I guess, that you saw either from the Cavs not having LeBron to now the Lakers having LeBron?
Well, the first thing I saw was LeBron. He's the one that I believe was 52 years that the Cleveland Cavs went without a championship.
Cleveland, the Cavs. You gotta add. I mean, just Cleveland in general, where the Cleveland Indians didn't win a championship in 52 years. The Cavaliers, like just Cleveland in general, just hasn't won a title in that city. Like, and to think like Boston and Los Angeles are one of the most decorated sports right now. Like where Boston has the Boston Red Sox, the New England Patriots, and the Boston Celtics. Excuse me. But those guys have at least they've won a title recently. Like with the Patriots just going to the Super Bowl just a year ago to losing, but I mean they won it a couple years after. I mean, just and then you have Los Angeles where the Dodgers are just in the playoffs. But I mean Cleveland just you can't even name it. I mean, sure they went to the World Series a couple years ago with the Indians, but I mean the Cavs, that's really all you got. Like really just there's no one that has stepped up to the plate like how LeBron James has done for his city. Yeah,
and it's just like he comes in, he comes back. I'm pretty sure they were down 3-1, and he came back from that and he won the 7th game.
Right.
That blows my mind at how much of a difference one player can actually make when it comes to professional basketball. It really does. And I heard he's opening a school recently.
Yes. So actually, I was just pulling up. I just want to give you some kind of details on that. So he just opened up a public school, and I want to kind of just give a little shout out to all the facts and things that he's done. So one of the big things at his school is that every kid at the school gets a free bicycle and a helmet because LeBron says his own childhood bike helped him get out of dangerous neighborhoods and explore a city as a kid.
Okay.
So that's one thing, right? Students receive free breakfast, lunch, and snacks throughout their school, and they also receive free uniforms. So,
wow.
And I can remember times like in schools, like I could see children who couldn't afford food or get stuff, and that's really sad. And to think he's paying for those things already is just mind-boggling. And then another one that's really cool too is that if a student's family is struggling to put food on the table, the school has its own food bank for them to use. So he's giving food even when they're not in school, like for families that are already struggling. Like, I mean, that's just crazy. And then here's the big one. As for both Miami University students, this is a big one. LeBron has guaranteed that every single student who graduates from his school will receive free college tuition at the University of Akron.
Wow, that is really generous. That's amazing.
To think too, because like this has never happened before. And
Yeah.
Just like earlier this year, he was told to shut up and dribble, where he shouldn't do anything. He shouldn't talk. He shouldn't do any activities. Even after like he shouldn't just do any of that. He should just play basketball, just shut up and do your thing. And to think this man is making a public school, like that's great in its own, but he's literally paying for these kids and their future and right in the presence where they can get free food to biking. Like, I mean, that's incredible.
That really is. I can't imagine someone actually saying that to him and actually being able to look out and see all that he's doing. Not only he's doing it for the community and all these kids. I can't imagine how the cost of that's actually, and everything else that must go into it. That's just amazing that he would go out of his way to actually do that for people in need. He's a true inspiration.
I mean, I try to think of like inspirational people that like in sports today. Like, I think like Muhammad Ali, where he wouldn't sign up for the army and stuff, and his title was stripped. I mean, that was pretty big. And like he was just like an inspirational player himself. Jackie Robinson being the first player to play in Major League Baseball and not in the Negro League, which that's a big story in itself. And then like I just think that LeBron James has just done so much for like the city and like even the state of Ohio in general.
Really
like
has.
Just to think like he's helped so much in Akron. And what's your top or your take on LeBron James or Michael Jordan? Who would you pick?
Growing up, you always hear about Michael Jordan as a kid.
Right.
But I personally feel like I haven't really looked into Michael Jordan that much and see all that he's done. But
For sure.
But seeing just LeBron James, I can't imagine what he could have done more. But I'd really like to see what he has done. I haven't really researched that, unfortunately. But just in community presence and being able to help out where he came from, his hometown, everything, I feel like it's really amazing, and I don't know how someone could beat him, to be honest.
Right. So in today's like sports media, it's like it's a mixed bag of who's the best player, but for different reasons. So like people look at the core of who is the best basketball player in itself, like where they just play basketball, don't add any like just anything social wise to interviews to community stuff. So like basketball wise, Michael Jordan is known for being 6-0. He's never won he's never lost a title, so he's never been a loser. And he's been like in most of those championships, he's known as the clutch player or the best player in the whole series, both teams, everything. And he's won 5 MVPs. So LeBron, on the other hand, he's gotten swept 2 times at least now. Yeah, 2 times. Where that's usually like a career ending or legacy kind of killing, like where you're like, how could you not get one? How could you not just win one game? So, and LeBron has only won 3 rings compared to he's also, I believe now he's lost 7, 8 titles. So everyone looks at perfection versus kind of just a loser. Like he's lost way more than like it's a negative. Like we're both in school. Would you take the 100%? You take the 44%. Which one you want of winning a title?
Well, I feel like it does kind of depend. Like I agree that it does depend on their win ratio and all that. But let me ask you this: did Michael Jordan ever come back from being down 3-1?
No, he's not, sir. He has not.
Do you know off the top of your head, has he really helped the community as much as LeBron James? I don't know as much, but I'm asking you.
For sure. So like North Carolina, like because from like how LeBron is from Akron and from Ohio. Michael Jordan's from like the North Carolina area. That's where he's really big. He went to college at North Carolina, really big college basketball school. And now he owns the Charlotte Hornets. So he's known for that area. Maybe the problem is that like LeBron, he doesn't do everything social media wise or like newspaper or art, like, or he does do that. LeBron does that where like his stuff comes out. Maybe he doesn't post everything, but like Michael Jordan is all to himself. He doesn't really do interviews anymore. He's like the silent giant where like everybody knows about Jordan, the Jordan brand, the Jordan shoes, everything, but they don't really hear his voice at all. It's like if you hear it, it's from like someone who just recorded him on his phone, like, and just caught his attention. So he's done some donation stuff, but like compared to LeBron, no, he has not done like LeBron level, like of obviously creating a school. Like the thing is too is that there's like stats where like Michael Jordan makes up like 50,000 a second.
Oh,
like, and this is because he has the Jordan brand from like shoes. Everyone knows Jordans. Like if you don't know what Jordans are, you're crazy. Yeah. And then you have schools now, college schools. Like before, like colleges will have the Jordan brand, like basketball teams, but now it's on football teams. Like Michigan have it. Like to see a Jordan brand on a football team is like crazy in today's world. Like because it's just known as a basketball brand. Like sure you can do other things with it, but like in football, I mean like it's opening up new holes to where he owns the Charlotte Hornets. I mean he's making tons of money off that. So I mean he makes so much money. Like where maybe he could he create a school? He could. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't want to deal with that dilemma stuff. But it's tough. It's interesting.
I feel like Michael Jordan definitely leaves a bigger legacy than LeBron right now, and that's really is something. But who knows? In a few years, you never know if he may surpass him. It's hard to tell right now.
Right.
I feel like
that's for sure. Let us know, listeners. Give us a tweet at the JNM_sports pod. We'd like to know what you're thinking. Do you think that Michael Jordan's the best player for being he's the best basketball player in the world, like because he's gone undefeated, to LeBron James who's been more of the philanthropist where he's helped more in his community, he's helped donated, and he's done like a lot more. Sure, he's done great things, like he's a top 5 now in scoring just for this year, and it's not like LeBron James isn't a bad player. But what do you think? Who do you think's the best player in the NBA? What do you think of all time? Or is there even a player we didn't even mention? Let us know down below. We're gonna take a little short break here, and then we'll come back here in just a few moments, and we'll be ready here at the J&M Sports Podcast.
See you then.
All right, and we're back here at the Jordan Miller Sports Podcast, and we're gonna finish up with some interesting topics for my guest here, Justin Smith, that I know about, but Justin really doesn't know about. It's probably too much. So, Justin, the first thing we're gonna talk about is that Kyrie Irving has just released his new shoes. And his new shoes that he's releasing are cereal brand. I'm gonna give you more. I'm gonna give you more details. So, I'm gonna show you something right here. Okay. So, Kyrie has released 3 different kinds of shoes right here. So, he released the Lucky Charm shoe. Okay. So that's his Lucky Charm shoe. Okay. And this one here is the Kicks they have, and he also has the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So go ahead and kind of take a look at those really quick. Okay. And true story, I'm not even gonna lie about this. If this is a bad thing or a good thing, let us know, listeners. I almost bought the cereal brand, or Lucky Charms brand, and I really like that shoe. That shoe was like, I just like the color of it. I love the bottom. Do you think those shoes are embarrassing, or do you like them, or are you like, eh?
I'll be honest with you. I really like yellow, so I'm thinking about the Cinnamon Toast Crunch myself.
Okay, Cinnamon Toast.
But
some milk in there.
That is an interesting design choice to go with. Right. I'm not quite sure. I'm guessing he's getting paid some money.
He's probably getting some money from the cereals.
So that makes sense. The big time cereals, everyone knows them. So.
Right. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Okay.
Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
So that's cool. The funny part is that I was actually going to buy those shoes when they were released, because Kyrie Irving had them before the season started. Yeah. And I was actually about to not buy them, but I was like, I had them saved on my phone, and my girlfriend looked at my phone. She's like, Jordan, what are those? And I'm like, oh babe, these are some new shoes I'm gonna buy. She's like, you're not gonna buy this. I'm like, but. And those shoes didn't work out for us. So no Kyrie shoes. But I still got some Kyries.
Well, remember, you can always buy them from me.
On to the next topic. So, obviously we're both from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes.
And so one of our teams here, our NFL teams, is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Of course.
Now Cincinnati has kind of struggled so far this season. They had a really hot streak, and now they've gone from where they're on top of the division to now where they're second. From now they're 5-6.
Oh.
And Marvin Lewis now, to give you kind of some background of how long he's been here since 2003.
Okay.
So we were both born in 97.
Yes.
And so, I mean, 6 years, that's when he got here, and now we're 21. And to give you some insight on Marvin Lewis, he has not won a playoff game for us. So that means to get in, you have to basically either win 2 to get to the Super Bowl, or you have to get 3.
Okay.
And so, and he's been here, and he's been in the playoffs though 8 times.
Okay.
So he's been here for a while, and we haven't had a Super Bowl. So basically, he's been here 2003 to now. We're going to 2009. So is it 16th season now?
Yep.
So 16 years. Basically, we're saying, oh, he's still here. He hasn't done the job. He can still stay. What are your thoughts on that?
Personally, Super Bowl, you only get 2 teams a year. So how many is that?
So there's 32 teams.
So 32 teams.
32 teams. So, and he's been here 16 years.
16 years.
So our chance should have been now, right? So if you do the math, 16.
Yeah.
Should have had a ring, right?
I feel like he probably should have had it at this point. Like 32 teams. How many teams are? Just give me the number.
So 32 teams.
Yeah, 32 teams.
So
it's like, what?
Do you think that they should fire him?
He's been in playoffs plenty of times.
Plenty of times, but he hasn't gotten one win.
That's a hard subject for me, but personally, if I'm going to go with just statistics on him actually making to his football, I'm going to say yeah. If he can't actually make the cut, I feel like they should really find someone else that can.
So you think they should cut him off the team? Like he shouldn't be there anymore, or they should keep him?
I would say yeah. I say they should cut him.
We should cut him. Okay, because I thought if you say you're going to keep him, I'm like, we need to talk. All right, on to the next and final topic here on the Jordan Miller Sports Podcast.
I'm ready.
Sports betting was illegal in 46 states, Justin, but this past year, it's been legal.
Okay.
So states like New Jersey, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania has added it. Justin Smith, will you ever gamble on sports games?
I believe that betting on sports games is fine.
It's fine.
I would say it's fine. I feel like it's a...
Would you personally bet your own money on a sports game?
I will be honest with you. I am a poor college student right now, so I would have to say no.
But you can make more money.
I could make more money, but I could also lose all my money.
But you know how if you did bet on a game, and you know who would win you money?
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Yes, and LeBron James is a good guy, but I like my money in my pocket. Or in my bank.
I mean, LeBron James, he's already making... He'll make you money, too.
Yeah, he will. But he makes more money than I'll probably see my whole lifetime, so...
On a depressing note, that is the end of the Jordan Miller Sports Podcast. We are so excited to start the show. Justin, I would like to say thank you, sir, for coming on the first episode. That was really awesome. He's been a great help to the staff.
I had a lot of fun, and I know I did horribly, but thank you for having me.
You did great. We'd like to thank you again for listening to the Sports Podcast. Share, follow us at our Twitter at JM Sports Podcast. We are super excited for you guys to listen, and we'll be keeping up with the rest, and we'll be tweeting out any other episodes coming out soon. Thank you again.
Bye.